So when you're watching or when you're taking a role as your soldier, FBI, CIA, or weatherman, how do you prepare for these things? Are you watching? Are you doing ride-alongs? Are you doing research? What's your preparation process for your acting?
I guess it's different depending on who you're working with. Like I've done 2 Christopher Nolan movies. I did Tenet and then I did Oppenheimer. You know, Tenet, which is an unbelievable movie that you need to watch 8 times, maybe 16 times to try and understand like what's actually happening. And you don't get to read anything really before. The script is on super, super lockdown. You get to read it once, you know, prior to the job.
Yeah.
And then you get your sides the night before your scenes usually. So with Nolan, you don't really know what you're doing. Like on Oppenheimer, I had no idea what I was doing because they also give you dummy sides. So when you audition, they don't give you the sides, the scene that you're actually going to play in the movie. They give you something similar from a different movie.
Yeah.
So you have no idea what's happening. You can't really figure out, you got a general idea. You know what I mean? I haven't yet, and this is like the evolution of, you know, starting off your career, your first couple of seasons. I haven't got something that is a lot of reps yet. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not a regular on a TV show. I've done a lot of movies now, but you know, movies are like 2-3 weeks and then you're out.
Yeah.
So hopefully that comes, you know, I'd like to, but I want to also play like a horticulturist,
A what?
like a guy that knows plants. You know, I want to do weird shit.
A plant guy.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
See, he brought that in because I was showing him my plants
Yeah.
earlier. I'm a plant guy. I don't know the scientific term for.
And by the way, you don't need to.
But it's a good. What is that word?
You're going to make me say it again. I got it out once. Pretty good. Horticulturalist.
And now, where'd you get that word? Where'd you pull that from?
You know, listen, I do these fucking auditions and all these words.
I had to audition.
Yeah.
I had one audition once.
Yeah.
I had to do a sex scene with a guy over Zoom. First audition ever.
Oh, wow.
Like
For real?
Yeah. And
Huh.
I couldn't get in the zone.
That's the stupidest thing anybody has ever done, made anyone do. Why
Yeah.
would you do?
It wasn't like a sex scene. It was like I was like with a female, but it was a guy. I'm a first time one ever doing this stuff, and they're putting me in this situation. Clearly didn't get the role.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Who got it?
I don't know. We'll
Because
see.
I have a list in my garage
It's-
of people that have gotten roles that I should have got.
Yeah.
That I'm gonna tell them one day. You remember that role?
Who's on that list?
He's sort of like a good-looking, blonde hair. It's like a California guy. What the hell is his name? He was in White Lotus. Not. It'll come to me, but you know, there's a list.
Yeah.
You didn't have a list in college?
Never. No, Sean, I didn't have a list. What is this happening? Billy Madison?
Yeah. Steve
I'm gonna
Buscemi.
call it.
Does he have a list? Yeah, and Billy does.
Steve Buscemi. He had the
Oh,
list.
right.
Remember? And Adam called him.
Man,
Yeah.
I'm glad I called that guy.
Yeah. So there's specific movies I've done. I did a movie called Amsterdam with David O. Russell directed, and I have like I have a walk and talk with Christian Bale, and then I have to utter a racial slur to Chris Rock, and I got the sides that morning because O. Russell's notorious. He kind of rewrites scenes as he goes. I'm not at that point. I was not a seasoned enough actor to get sides the same day.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I could get it. So that movie, if you go and watch it, that was a full day. I have no recollection of the day whatsoever. I think like I blacked out probably 20 minutes in. I didn't know any of my lines. Christian Bale, okay, he didn't know who I was. He had no idea who I was. He didn't know that I used to play for the Rangers or any of this shit. He thought I was an actor. That fucking guy walked me through that day. Just at lunch, ran my lines with me. I had no idea where I was or what I was saying. It was the worst experience ever. And my buddy was a producer, and he got me the audition and the whole thing. I thought it was over. I thought it was done. So there's times that I've had where like I don't even remember certain days because, dude, it's not like putting a helmet on and like we can just do that in our sleep.
Yeah.
This is so fucking high stakes and stressful.
I think, well, we used to do that in that environment, but it's something we're comfortable and we've been doing our whole life. You're
Right.
jumping in and you're a rookie in this world.
Yeah.
So it's different, which Christian Bale taking the time out of his day to work with a new actor who he doesn't know, that's just straight leadership and fucking cool. You know, like there's a lot of guys I'm sure that don't do that. But you hear the cool stories about Christian Bale.
The big boys,
Yeah.
just like, you know, you or Tom or whoever it was at what point on what team, these guys, like Bale knows, dude, I don't want this kid to suffer. I want to get out of here. Let's get a great scene. Let's win and get the fuck home.
Yeah.
You know? So he did everything. I mean, I at one point during a take, I was like, holy fuck, Sean. I said that to myself, and I could see over in the corner of my eye, Bale was literally like at this point, kind of like on the ground laughing. And all I heard, and I don't know if David O. Russell is an incredible director, but he's had some savage moments on the internet. He's yelled at actors before in a legendary way. And all I could hear was him screaming from somewhere behind Video Village, Sean, just keep talking. Say anything. Just keep talking. And at that point I realized, yeah, because there's more cameras. So even if I keep talking, Bale's on the ground laughing right now. Now I really ruined the scene.
Yeah.
They can't get anything from him. So it's incredible. It's like, you know, Pete Berg.
Yeah.
Pete put me in my first movie, and I think he knew what I was doing because like it was Patriots Day.
Yeah. With Wahlberg.
With Wahlberg, and I mean, my mind exploded. There's 200 people on set. They go action, and all of a sudden, it's like, holy fuck, you got to go.
Yeah. I've felt that. I remember the first day I did TV, and it's different, but it's similar because you're playing a personality, and you got to perform when the red light's on.
Yep.
And no one teaches you. There's no handbook. There's no nothing. You have to just belly up and be able to do it. And it was like I had so much anxiety. It was like stepping out of my comfort zone so much.
Yeah.
That I know exactly what you're feeling, which the biggest part of why I don't like to get into acting is because of the line remembering.
Yeah.
And then I don't want to be the liability on set because, you know, I don't want to waste people's time. And it's such a fucking team thing, you know, with the Teamsters, the camera people, the producers, this guy, and you got some slapdick that doesn't know his fucking line. He's getting nervous. So I understand that anxiety you have.
Yeah. It took me 8 years to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I swear to God, it took me 8 years. I stopped playing in, I don't even know, 2013. For 8 years, I just learned how to memorize lines.
Yeah.
Like, that's something you had to do. How many fucking routes do you have to run? A lot.
Yeah.
It just gets into that, like, and now I feel my brain is different. You know, I can feel like there's weight in different areas, and it kind of feels good.
You figure it out. You figure out how, like what to remember, key things. And,
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Exactly.
I can cheat. I can cheat.
Now you're from Canada. You grew up playing hockey. You went to school until you were 16 because of the whole hockey thing. You guys leave school and are uneducated. And I've played and hung out with a bunch of hockey guys.
Yep.
Where the fuck does acting interest come from? Did you have acting interest as a kid, or when you started playing? Where did this come from?
No, we always thought, I mean, my mom put me in a drama camp when I was 6, and she said I lasted like half a day, and she had to come and get me. And I sort of vaguely remember it. I remember like the gymnasium, the church area of Toronto that this camp was at. I had PTSD from it, and I always thought guys that acted in high school and stuff were kind of like, you know, the wimpy kids.
Yeah. Thespians.
Yeah, thespians were a little bit weird.
Yeah. That's as fuck,
And
bro.
I didn't know them. I didn't hang with them. Yeah. But then you realize it's art, and what we did as athletes was art.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a little bit more
Not
sort
according to Meryl Streep.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she called out football and UFC after getting an award once, saying, most America likes to watch athletes, and that's barbaric and stuff. They don't think that, moving like a ballerina when someone's about to take your fucking head off is art, I guess.
Yeah.
Jules
yeah.
has a one-way beef with Meryl Streep and Ben Affleck.
What did Ben do?
Ben just was talking shit on ESPN that the Patriots didn't have receivers while I was there.
Have
just
you
wanna
guys ever
fucking-
squashed it?
There's no real beef. I just talk shit about it on here.
We had Casey on here
We had
and talked
Casey
about
on
it
here to
with
talk
him.
about it. Casey, like a Boston guy's basically like, whatever. Fuck it.
Well, what do you mean, whatever?
It's whatever. It's more of a hype thing.
Well, now I have a beef with Ben Affleck.
That's right, baby.
Almost.
So
almost
next
like that.
time, and I'll be on a set. I'll be on one of his movies at some point.
yeah.
I'm gonna pull him aside and go, listen, I think we should address this whole Julian
like
Edelman
this.
situation.
I like this.
Right? Totally out of nowhere. He'll be
Put him on notice.
He probably doesn't even know about it.
Well, he does.
Hey.
He will
He will.
soon enough.
No.
I think they're making the Pete Rose movie, which I
Oh,
have already
You're in
earmarked. And well, I will be
Athlete,
in it.
soldiers, weathermen.
Yeah. Pete Rose,
Avery.
baseball player.
Charlie Hustle.
Fuck yeah.
You should.
I can't.
You're gonna
play him.
audition for Pete?
No. I think that Chris Pratt should do that, or Wahlberg. I don't know. It depends what age they have him.
Yeah.
Wahlberg would be a great Pete Rose.
He would.
If he yeah, like
Because it's the
if he-
same body type too.
Yeah, and Mark can look like a 35-year-old.
Yeah.
Easy.
It's crazy. He's like almost. He looks young.
He looks great.
I don't.
He
there's
lives
some-
healthy.
He does.
You know.
He
You got
does.
into you gotta.
No, so you did the act. I used to do all the school junior high plays.
I read that somewhere. Yeah.
I used to love doing. I did Crazy Camp, Bye Bye Birdie, and I loved getting a laugh out of the audience.
Right.
When I was a kid, so I would be terrible at remembering my lines, but I'd always improv a little something, and I just loved that.
Yeah.
But
But
never
hold
did.
on. Let's just address, I don't know if you guys have talked about it. I watched the Brady roast. All right. I understand. That's a blackout moment, too, by the way. I'm sure some of those guys did not remember anything that they said when they got up there. Like
Yeah.
some of the athletes, probably, there were a couple guys that looked like they were just not there.
Yeah.
Like they had left their own bodies. You fucking nailed that. But you went and did a couple of nights at
I did the
at
store. Yeah.
That's acting. I mean, improv, I think all these great actors have the ability to just kind of, like any of the Tarantino stuff, those guys are riffing. That DiCaprio scene in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, when he fucking rips the trailer apart,
Yeah.
those lines weren't written.
Yeah.
So you're on stage doing your thing. Like,
There's a teleprompter.
oh, you used a teleprompter?
Yeah.
Not at the store.
No, at the store I read off paper.
Right,
And I didn't
but
make
that-
eye contact. I was so scared.
You didn't?
I was fucking terrified.
Oh,
bro.
you
It was
still
the first
killed,
time-
though.
It was the first time, and it was like it's more intimate at the store. Like you're at where was it at the Forum?
Forum.
When you're at the Forum, there's 10,000 people, and the people I saw were people I knew.
Right.
At the tables and stuff. I went to the store. It's intimate. There's like 60 people. Thank God there was like a group of 15 like frat boys that loved football that I could say anything and they were gonna laugh.
Right.
But I was like nervous, shaking up there. Like that's tough for like anytime you do something new.
Yeah.
You're stepping out of that comfort zone. It was tough.
Yeah,
Like,
I
I
go-
prepared for that shit.
I go to the store sometimes, the belly room, and they let me I just go in and like do a set.
Where do
But
you?
I don't have anything. I just do crowd work. I just make fun of people in the crowd.
How does it go?
A couple, I've done it like 4 or 5 times. A couple times it's gone well. A couple times it hasn't. Did
you get anyone under anyone's skin?
Yeah, but yeah, crowd work is like that's improv
Yeah.
because you got to move. You got to work off.
Yeah.
That's the type of comic I love. I love crowd work, guys.
Yeah. You're really great on it. I mean, you display it on Instagram through your stories and your TikTok. You said you broke the algorithm.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of improv work when you're doing live games, making fun of guys with an eraser or whatever. You have
Yeah.
a pencil and eraser, the pointer.
The pointer.
So that are you working your improv while you're doing that as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're
because-
working. That's work. That's time on task.
Oh, it's not free. I mean, no one's paying me yet, except I'm the whole
Putting
thing.
it in the bank.
No, I'll
Your
tell you
own
what.
bank.
I wanted to get into the TikTok creators program.
Yeah.
Which is a program that if you meet certain requirements, you get into this program. The deeper I got into it, I realized that TikTok, in my opinion, is like Ready Player One, the movie. Like, I think that we're all going to be living in TikTok soon. You can buy, you can sell. There's people making $1 million a year selling candy on TikTok, live candy, stores. Anyways, long story short, I got obsessed with TikTok. They weren't letting me in the creators program because they said my content wasn't original, which I couldn't understand because I go, guys, I'm basically doing my own play-by-play. I'm making up all these jokes or anything that I'm saying. It's as original as you can get. The problem is that the algorithm, it's based on shapes. So if you go on TikTok, you'll see a kid doing a review about the Housewives with like Call of Duty underneath in this split screen because the algorithm likes shapes. It thinks that you're being original. So I go, okay, what the fuck am I going to do? I got to solve this problem. Like, I'm not quitting. I got to figure this out.
Yeah.
So I basically merged the future with the old, and I went on Amazon and I bought a pointer stick. And now I do a play-by-play with a pointer stick, which is exploding on TikTok.
That's got to be hard too. I see how I can't see the puck ever, so you're following the puck. It's good for that.
You like it,
I like it.
They tried to do a glow puck. Fox tried to glow the puck.
Yeah.
Remember back in the day? It didn't work. You can't glow a puck.
Yeah.
But, it's taken me, it's a dexterity game. That word I almost didn't get. It's a dexterity game. I had to get, depth perception because I got a fucking phone in one hand. I'm sitting on a tiny little kid's chair.
Yeah.
Because I gotta, the screen on the phone and the TV screen, it's only so big. So it's this whole science. Anyways, the pointer stick is blowing up and people love it. And it's all improv. I'm on the fly. I make it fun, some jokes and stuff.
Yeah. It's funny. I think it's entertaining. I'm not a big hockey guy, but that brings me to hockey. The chicklet dudes bring me to hockey. I have to have pop culture with hockey.
Right.
Because I'm American.
Mm-hmm.
You've worked with Nolan, David O. Russell, and Peter Berg. What's unique about their style? And who's your favorite to work with?
Well, so I've made multiple movies with Peter Berg.
And Nolan.
But Pete Berg, who made Friday Night Lights and Lone Survivor.
Yeah, I work at his gym, Churchill.
You box there.
Yeah. Try to.
Yeah.
My ass beat.
Pete once got me beat up by a boxer.
I've heard the story 1,000 times.
Right. I just did, Chris Chelios. I saw Chris Chelios like 3 weeks ago. He goes, dude, Pete showed me a video. I said, he's showing that video? He filmed me get fucking beat up by a boxer he's showing our friends?
Can you explain the story?
I don't even know. He was like, come down to the gym and box. I got a guy for you to box. And this was like, we're coming out of COVID and I'd been running 60 miles a week and like, I now do jujitsu, which is great and beautiful, and it like changed my life. But at that point, I was looking for some sort of blend of like maybe a combat sport. And he brings me down to his gym, and I got the living shit beat out of me by a boxer in his gym. I was wearing somebody else's mouth guard. Pete's like kind of the way he teaches lessons sometimes is the difficult way.
Yeah.
I think with
Tough
certain
love.
people.
Tough love.
He's a director, he knows, and I think when you have a director who's your friend, and so, but anyways, Pete, it's fun to make a movie with Pete Berg because he's like loose, you know? There's different sets. A Nolan set, there's no cell phones. Generally, I black out. I don't remember. Like, I don't really remember much from Oppenheimer. I sat in a car with Matt Damon and Cillian Murphy for like 6 hours. I have no idea what I talked about. I have no clue. Yeah. I hope to ask them one day, like, do you guys remember that? I doubt they will, but Pete, it's loose and it's fun and he throws shit at you, It's like a coach. You got to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Any sets that are fun and comfortable, like Sandler's set is fun.
But there's also different styles of coaching.
Listen, I prefer the Nolan-esque set. When we made Tenet
But you got to be there mentally as an actor,
every day.
you know. But like, I bet you for a newer actor, it's on a looser set. It's probably easier because of the tension. But if you go onto a tight ship, a Nolan something, you know the stakes and you know that everyone's bringing their A game always.
Yeah, that's so juicy.
Yeah, it's kind of like,
It's like
playing for Belichick.
Yes, that structure, it is. I would say that would be a direct parallel. Those two guys and like the level of efficiency.
Yeah.
We're not here. There's no fucking around.
There's no fucking around, and every minute is useful
Yes.
minutes.
Yeah.
It's productive.
Yeah. By the way, golf claps for Bill.
He's everywhere.
Living the life.
What do you mean?
I mean, he looks like he's having fun.
He is.
Mazel tov, Bill. Enjoy life.
He's enjoying life, all right.
It's so cool. And he's a human.
Yeah.
We now see him.
Yeah, that's what we witnessed.
Right.
You just very occasionally.
Right.
They'll strip your fucking head off.
I played for Scotty Bowman, who I think would be the equivalent of Belichick as far as the hockey coach. And Scotty would come in and he would yell, like if there was something that he wanted to talk about, he would address it in the completely opposite way. And it was always mental warfare
Yeah.
with somebody in the room. Like he was a mastermind. You get in the sauna with this guy, talk about like, what's your favorite food from back home? Like, what do you mean back home? Like Canada. Oh, I like wieners and beans. You know what wieners and beans are?
Frank and Beans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We call them wieners and beans.
Yeah.
He was like he was like a gentle giant, like a teddy bear.
Yeah.
So that's what I see from Bill now is that, you know.
If you don't talk to him about any strategic stuff going into like a game week and you bring in like a regular life, he's a regular human.
Right. Breathing air.
I don't know about that yet. I'm still waiting on that. Lastly, what's the director you want to work with? It's your shot right here. They may watch it.
Yes.
Let's see.
I'd like to be on an Olivia Wilde movie.
Ooh,
Olivia Wilde.
I like that.
Yeah. See what's popping over there. You know what I mean? I'd like to work for a woman, Catherine Bigelow.
Hurt Locker, yeah.
Yeah, like there's a couple that are. I'd like to work for. I've never worked for a woman
Yeah.
ever in my life, really. So it just artistically, I feel like it would be like there'd be vibes. Something would be different.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be so rigid, you know?
They could pull a different string from you, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, that would be fun.